Welcome to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group right here in Tampa Bay for 23 years. Joined by his incredible co-host, Ksenia Akishina, realtor with Mahara and Associates, Tampa's top real estate company. Together, they have helped finance and close nearly $1 billion of real estate every year. If you're looking for local mortgage or real estate advice, the Business Happy Hour team has been right here on News Radio WFLA for over a decade. Listen right here or find us on the Business Happy Hour YouTube channel or follow us on Instagram at Frank the Bank Cotto. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious mortgage, real estate, and business talk with two of Tampa's top experts. Here's Frank the Bank and Ksenia.
Hey, Tampa Bay. Welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. I am your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group and 813mortgage.com. In studio, it's a special day today. It's just Ksenia and I today. Welcome to the Business Happy Hour. Thank you, James. I know we're starting a little later today, guys. First Tuesday of every month, Frank the Bank has a big event over at the Northdale Owls. So I do want to put this out there real quick because you don't even know who the Owls are, which, by the way, Ksenia,
I had no idea you had an event every first Tuesday.
I have your Christmas present and Ray's sitting in the back of my trunk.
What?
And I totally keep forgetting to give it to you. So, guys, it's not my Christmas jacket, but Ksenia made me think of it when she called it a Christmas jacket. This is my Valentine's Day jacket because this is our Valentine's Day show.
It is.
Right?
I guess. It's already,
Can you believe this? Like,
flying by.
So if you guys are watching Instagram, you're sitting here like, God, dude, it's not Valentine's Day. Yeah, but our radio show is recorded on Tuesdays and we air on Saturday and Sunday, which is going to be, what's that date? The 8th and the 9th?
Well, you're a little bit so the 9th, but yeah, I guess the next one, it's already going to be past Valentine's Day. You're
right.
Okay.
See?
We're going to air on Super Bowl Sunday, though.
Oh, my gosh, Super Bowl. Okay, so we are talking about the Super Bowl. What I was about to say is today's a really cool show because a lot of times Ksenia and I have awesome guests for you. But today, it's just Ksenia and I. So we are going to focus on real estate, and we're going to talk a little bit about some mortgages, some specific products. We're going to be giving some buyer tips. We're going to give some seller tips. I'm going to ask Ksenia some questions. We're going to talk about possibly what happens when a deal doesn't work out the way it's supposed to work out. How does that affect you as a buyer or a seller? We're going to talk about reverse mortgages. We're going to talk about the difference in doing a cash out refinance or getting a home equity line of credit. That seems to be a big question that keeps popping up. But by the way, if you are an avid watcher of the show, what's up, Ravi? Thanks for joining. If you're an avid watcher of the show on our Instagram, the first Tuesday of every month, we have the Northdale Owls. If you are, I think they say over 55. I think that's the rule. You got to be 55 or 60 to join the Owls. The Owls is an event in Northdale at the Recreation Center, and the first Tuesday of every month, there's like 300 people. There's live entertainment, there's booths, there's giveaways, there's a little dancing, there's a lunch that they provide to you. You got to join the organization. It's the Owls, and it is for people in their golden years who would like an awesome event to go to in a big, cool community. So I am one of the bigger sponsors for the event. We educate on reverse mortgages there and other things, and I had to speak on stage today and do some fun stuff for the Valentine's. So that's, by the way, it's why I'm wearing my Valentine's jacket, because they're every month they have a theme, right? So everybody was in red with hearts today and all that. So.
It's fitting because I think somebody asked you when you wore that to the Christmas party, like, oh, okay, it's probably the one time a year you can wear it, but no, that's perfect for Valentine's Day too. There you go.
That's right. And let me think, is there another one? No, that's probably it. Yeah, Valentine's and Christmas, I can get away with this jacket. My wife, when she sees me pull it out of the closet, she goes, "Where are you going?" So anyway, by the way, if you guys, two people came up to me and asked, where do I get my jackets? Actually, William Lewis is my haberdasher. It's Billy Lally, the former Mr. Man over at University Mall and Tampa Bay Mall for like 40 years here in Tampa. If you guys remember Mr. Man, if you would like some awesome custom clothing, shameless plug. He didn't ask me to do this. People just asked me today where I got it. And the guy actually makes these jackets. He's super awesome. Do anything you need. So, whoa, that was a lot. I don't even have my notepad in front of me, but I will say we're now on 3 channels. Do you remember the 3 we're on?
Oh, goodness. I'm the wrong person to ask. I've just been saying, hey, on like 3 other channels.
James, help me out. Okay, we got our 970. We got 1250 WHNZ, which is also an AM channel. And the last one, what's the FM one? 105.9. I knew James Berlander would know that answer. It's 105.9 FM. And that's on Saturdays at 10 a.m., AM 1250, Saturdays 10 a.m., and then, I think I'm saying that right, and 5 a.m. Is it 5 a.m. on Saturdays? Oh, well, I guess we got the same time slot on Saturday and Sunday.
I'll make a little cheat sheet for next time.
Yeah,
so
right.
I can help out with that.
Well, if James isn't here, then we'll need that cheat sheet. But anyway, so you guys can hear us both days, Saturday and Sunday, 5 a.m. Happy Valentine's Day to those of you who are listening to us on the radio. It's coming up. Hopefully you have something ready to do for your sweetie. What are you doing? What are you doing, Ksenia? What are you doing for Valentine's
You know
Day?
what? My birthday's actually coming up too, and it's right before Valentine's Day. So
Combo?
I think the plan is, hey, can we just do a combo of the two? Which, you know what? I'm totally fine with that. I'm still like getting over the holiday season. It's always too much for us with just all the, American celebration, the Russian stuff that my mom likes to do. And then we have the birthdays that start up right away. And
yes,
I'm totally fine combining
Wait, when are your
just,
kids' birthdays? What months are they in?
So I get a January.
Okay, that's like
and
me.
And then February. I'm in February coming up. And then my daughter's in April.
Okay.
I'm sure there's another big one that I celebrate in March, and
so you're similar to me. You've got your December, January, February, April, like right. I've got November, December, January, and then it's over.
Well, yeah, no, I got September, November, December, January. Yeah, like my dad had a huge one this year. My mom had a huge one, and it's just a lot.
I love it. I like getting out there. So what my wife and I try to do for these little things, anniversaries, Valentine's Day, we have really taken to the staycation, right? Mm-hmm. Pick a place that's close, maybe an hour drive, hour and a half at most, and just get a hotel. Drop the kids off at school, drive straight to the location. Like this year, we're going, believe it or not, we've never been to Anna Marie Island. I've born and raised in Tampa. Have you?
That was like my favorite beach growing. I love Anna Marie Island. Are you kidding me?
I'm going to need tips because literally Nicole and I, we picked out this place called the Bali High. Have you heard of it? I don't know anything about Anna Marie.
I haven't. We used to just stay, I think, in little like private condos. But I mean, how are things in Anna Marie Island?
So all the research online says that they're doing relatively good. There's still a lot of, obviously, destruction. But a lot of the hotels have reopened. That's why we chose this place. They said a lot of the restaurants are there. So the other reason we chose it, I'm glad you kind of said that, is we wanted to support the local businesses. And we thought, these guys are struggling enough. There's a lot of people not coming from tourism. So I said, if we're going to choose something, why don't we choose something that was in one of those potentially affected areas? And she looked at me. She's like, Anna Marie? I'm like, I've never been there. So I guess it's going to be fun.
You guys will love it. Yeah, just the sand is unbelievable. And just the whole vibe, that little, downtown area. I don't know if you call it downtown, but just like their little beachy town. Plenty of good restaurants, and it's just...
So we're going to need some advice. We're going to do that. We're going to wake up, take the kids to school, drop them off, be at Anna Marie, hopefully by like 9:30 in the morning is what I'm hoping. We're going to get bicycles, drive the little bicycles around. I heard people do golf
that you're
carts.
dropping the kids off. I mean, that's the way to go.
Yes. That is how we start all of our like staycations and our trips that we go to like around the Florida area is you drop the kids off, you get on the road. It's awesome. And then, of course, Mom, thank you, Nani, for picking them up in the evening and taking them to school the next day. And then we come home and, then we got Valentine's Day. So, by the way, another trick, don't celebrate Valentine's Day on Valentine's night. If you like to actually get into a restaurant and, it's a little wild.
I'll do it on my birthday night.
Hey, you want to say?
Well, although it's actually going to be on Super Bowl this year.
Your birthday's on Super Bowl.
So now I'm wondering, hey, are people going to be like a bars actually doing the whole football thing? Do we need to make a reservation somewhere, or is it going to be pretty dead? Well, if you go somewhere like nicer,
Nah, you're right. I would agree. If you go to a nice restaurant, it'll probably be dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Do you know that Super Bowl Monday is the most requested off day of work in the United States? Of any day of the year.
I didn't
The
know
Monday after Super Bowl.
Huh. It should be a holiday.
It should be, but it begs the question. James said it should be a holiday, but it begs the question: why do they do it on Sunday? Why would they not do it on Saturday? Like, wouldn't you think that might be better for revenue too, for businesses? They'll be there, and people will be there another day. It's not Monday. I don't know. So
good point. Throw it out there somewhere to the people you know.
Yeah, I am. I'm gonna call the commissioner of the NFL right now and ask them. We do know a couple football players. I guess we could ask some of those players. Old Tony Dungy. We're gonna ask him when I bump into him at the kids' school next time. What a stand-up guy, by the way.
Well, good luck with that. It's just Super Bowl Sunday.
It's
you
Super
can't
Bowl.
make it Super Bowl Saturday.
I
It just
know.
doesn't make the same.
I just keep
not the same
requesting
ring.
off, right? What happened, James? Does everybody request off in the radio station on Monday? And then they say no. That's right. Just record your show earlier. That's all you got to do. So anyway, guys, we're having a lot of fun here. Let's see. Valentine's Day. We got Ksenia's birthday. Super Bowl. Ksenia, who you rooting for? She's like,
I'm not gonna say.
oh no, are you Kansas City?
Actually, no, I will. Do I even know who's playing? No, the Eagles,
It's
right?
either the Eagles or Kansas City.
The Eagles. It's gonna have to be the Eagles.
So this is one
I
of
can't
those-
say neither one of them is really my team that I would root for, but I guess out of the two, it's the Eagles. We have a lot of friends that are huge Eagles fans,
Yeah.
so we got to support them. And
That's big in Tampa.
I'll do my hunter green
Yeah.
color.
Yeah, I'll wear my Lincoln Lending jacket, I guess.
Yeah, Maurice isn't going to be happy with me, but
It's so tough because the Eagles have been a big competitor of Tampa for years and years. You know, they always play us in the NFC Championship. Like we'd not screwed it up, could potentially played them to go to the Super Bowl. And then Kansas City, I mean, you know, we smoked them recently. And well, that's the last time they lost the Super Bowl was us. But anyway, I hate them both. I'll be honest.
so who are you rooting for?
I don't know. I don't want to see Kansas City win again. So I think I'm going to kind of go with what you're saying. I have Jeff, our VP at Lincoln Lending Group. He is from Philly. He is a Geno's guy. He is an Eagles guy. So I don't think I'm going to wear the shirt, but I'm going to go for the Eagles. I think
That's a good idea. So he's not salty with you.
I know.
Come Monday if y'all are working.
Oh, let me tell you, his attitude at work it is definitely derived from the Eagles winning or losing. So the last few
bet.
weeks, the dude's been having the best weeks ever. So come on, Eagles! Come on, Eagles! You guys want a great deal on a mortgage? If the Eagles win, you call Jeff at 813 Mortgage on Monday. I promise you, he will be in such a good mood. I'm going to yell at him because he was giving mortgages away. So stay tuned here to the Business Happy Hour. When we get back, Ksenia and I are going to talk about real estate, some tips for buyers and sellers. We're due to our stats that I know Ksenia's got something for me.
December numbers.
Oh, it's coming. Be ready for December. We'll be back in just a minute on the Business Happy Hour, and then we'll talk some mortgages later in the show. Stay tuned and like and share if you're on Instagram. Ready when you are, sir. Somebody wants to join our show. That would be funny just to let a random person join, but I don't think we're going to do that. When someone joins, anyone see those videos? It's Bahar Udin. If I know you, text me directly. I don't mind having people on, but it's a bit of a surprise. That could be interesting, though. Just be like, bing, and see what shows up on the screen. So all you people listening on Instagram, we're on a break right now on the radio. It's what we do. And we're coming back on.
All the best mortgage or real estate advice from Tampa Bay's top experts. It's the Business Happy Hour with Frank the Bank Cotto and Ksenia Kishina.
All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. I am your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, owner of Lincoln Lending Group. 22 years in business here in Tampa Bay. That's a long time. Can't believe I'm this old. In the business 26 years. Woo! Ksenia with Mahara and Associates, my favorite real estate team, and always brings amazing statistics and surprises me with stuff. And I know she's got a surprise for us today. So as you guys expect, we're going to do our real estate stats. But before we do that, we have an event at Lincoln Lending Group. Ksenia, you're welcome to come, as always. It's going to be tomorrow. So this is for our Instagrammers, not our guys listening on the radio. If you're a real estate agent on Instagram or Facebook right now, I'm inviting you to come to our seminar. I will put it on the Lincoln Lending Group Facebook page and the Frank the Bank page. So you have to go on and check it out. I'll do it right now while I'm talking. While
Rosa's
doing the
watching.
stats.
Rosa, come.
Rosa, please come to this tomorrow. It's from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. I will put it out there and tell you exactly where you got to go, but it's off of Lois Avenue at a title company's office. We are capping this event at 30 people, right? First 30 people who have registered, and we have 9 slots left. So if you're watching, get on and register. I'm going to put it on my page right now on the Facebook page for Lincoln Lending Group and for Frank the Bank, and I hope you guys can make it. Just make sure you register because I am ordering the tacos tonight for everybody. Spoiler alert, we're having tacos. And there you go. It's on the page, and we'll get it shared out to the Lincoln page as well, and we hope you guys can come. Ksenia, first question before you do the stats. If somebody has a real estate question. What's the best way to get you?
I would love it if they could call me or even text at
Okay.
813-755-REAL.
I love it.
Or they can go to tamparealestate.pro.
That's it. TampaRealEstate.pro or 755-REAL. Super easy because we are the Real Business Happy Hour over here. 755-REAL. Check them out. Check out Ksenia. And here we go on our statistics. We've been waiting for a long time for these December numbers.
I've been waiting. And you know what? I think I realized that they have been shifting some stuff around. So I don't know if you know this or not, but so GTAR, or that's what we call it, as an acronym, but Greater Tampa has joined forces with Pinellas Realtors.
Okay, I heard that. They
don't
merged.
really know, exactly like what that means for us as agents, but even on their sites, like I've been noticing how they're shuffling around like our stats.
Okay.
So I saw that they actually added some stuff, and one week I'll see some things, and then the other thing they're adding it, and
this is
they're
a good
shifting
thing, right? More
I think
data.
It's a good thing. Sure, yeah.
Okay.
More data, and
Now they're not combining like Hillsborough and Pinellas stats, right?
So no, I think it'll be the same as it has been, because like for a while it was only Hillsborough stats. Like even when I was going back through my December, I had to do Hillsborough.
Right.
But it's been, they include Pasco, Pinellas, Hillsborough, and then Hernando and the MSA numbers.
Okay. And we're said, I'm ready when you are.
Okay. So, we've been talking about this. I don't think it's actually a huge surprise for us because we were hoping that this is what we would see. But our closed sales numbers were definitely up for December.
Okay.
Yay.
Oh, wait. Now up December to December or up December from
December
November?
year over year.
Okay.
So year over year, our numbers in Hillsborough, we were up in closed sales by 17%. In Pinellas County, a whole 33.2%.
What?
Pasco 15%, and then the MSA just kind of averages those counties plus Hernando and up 21%.
Okay. That should blow your mind. If you guys are listening, those numbers, all of those were double-digit numbers, right?
Well, they're great, yes. I don't want us to forget that we probably did lag some, so I'm sure some of those numbers attribute to the closings that didn't happen that were supposed to happen. During
from October, during the hurricanes?
And then, kind of the aftermath. But still, that's great news.
What was Pinellas County again? Was it 30?
33.2%.
So from December 23 to December 24, Pinellas County had 33% more home sales? Am I understanding that?
Yes. So if the December last year in 23, it was 33% more closed sales than
that blows my mind, considering that all of Pinellas County was basically underwater and shut down in the month of October, right?
Yeah. Well, that means some of those kind of got their fixes done and got the deals back on track. So
that's crazy, Ksenia.
Yeah.
That is So what do you think that means? Before we go into more stats, what do you think that means to the market or to buyers and sellers?
I'm hoping overall that we're just going to start seeing these numbers, just activity pick up in general.
Yeah.
More buyers getting out there, more people putting their homes on the market to sell.
Right.
So I think we're all anticipating more activity this year.
I think now, historically, wouldn't you say December is one of the slowest months?
Sorta. We're also, the snowbird state.
Right.
So in a way, we don't really follow the national, seasonal times.
Very true.
Of people buying. So, but yes, things slow down, September, October, November. December is kind of hit or miss.
Yep. I agree. December is one of those months where we could be dead half the month, and then the second half of December, everybody's just running around or back and forth. But I am super excited about these statistics we've been waiting on for so long, because it shows that our market is absolutely going in the right direction. I honestly, if you told me to gamble and bet on what it was going to be, I was going to guess like 10 to 15%. I thought there was an increase. I felt a little increase, but I would have never guessed.
I was a little surprised at that number too.
32%? Higher?
33.
33%. Look, I'm dropping a percent off. 33% high. And then Hillsborough was what, 20-something?
Hillsborough, 17%.
17.
But still, all across the board, we're up in the sales activity.
What else?
The one other good number, though, for Pinellas County, the year-over-year median sale price also increased by 9.5%.
Oh, my Lord.
So December of 23, it was lower, and now their current median sale price in Pinellas County is $477,500.
So wait a minute, Ksenia, aren't there a bunch of people putting out on social media every day that home prices are dropping?
Yes, and I mean, you got to take this all with a grain of salt. So these are year-over-year numbers. Like I did do a calculation, and like the calculation that you do to get these percent change is you take the new value, subtract the old value, and then you divide it by the old value.
Okay.
To kind of get that percent difference. So, the indicator that I think a lot of people make it so scary, like I went to our June numbers, and I mean, there was a decrease. I think it's a healthy decrease, though, when you look at the number. So, like for Hillsborough County, the total from, like I went to June, thinking, all right, 6 months, June is kind of like, our hot month.
Right.
It was down 2.35%.
That's negligible.
I think it's healthy. It's a shift that, we've been needing. I think a lot of us have been kind of expecting at least some kind of softening correction, but nothing drastic.
So that helps the buyers. When it's a little softer, obviously the buyers can maybe get a little better deal out there. So, when we get back in the next segment, we're going to ask you about some tips for buyers and sellers. Okay. We'll talk about mortgages a little later, but we're going to be back with some more stats in a minute. This is super exciting news, if you ask me. I'm the ultimate optimist, so maybe Cindy will bring me back down to reality. But stay tuned in a minute. You're going to get some more statistics on the real estate market, and we're going to talk some mortgages on the Business Happy Hour. Stay tuned. Dude, that's
I like
awesome.
your optimism.
Oh, yes.
Because the other stuff you always hear, and I really just don't know, where other people get stats or what. I just go off, here. I'm like, hey, that's what it says.
I think that is ultra exciting. I mean, and I know reality, it's not, it's still month over month, but that's a big jump. 30-something. And then you said the median house price went up by 10%, 9 point something percent?
Well, from, December. Obviously, like if you kind of look at all the numbers, has that been our ultimate, highest since COVID time? No, there's, we definitely had some peak months where we were probably, at the highest that we've been.
So, I mean, how can you interpret that negatively? Because, I mean, the last month in the year, this is what houses were selling for. Then the next last month in the year, this is what they're selling
I don't
for.
interpret it negatively.
I think that's the right month to do it. Go for it. But yeah.
Welcome to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group right here in Tampa Bay for 23 years. Joined by his incredible co-host, Ksenia Akishina, realtor with Mahara and Associates, Tampa's top real estate company. Together, they have helped finance and close nearly $1 billion of real estate every year. If you're looking for local mortgage or real estate advice, the Business Happy Hour team has been right here on News Radio WFLA for over a decade. Listen right here or find us on the Business Happy Hour YouTube channel or follow us on Instagram at Frank the Bank Cotto. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious mortgage, real estate, and business talk with two of Tampa's top experts. Here's Frank the Bank and Ksenia.
Hey, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. Today we're doing business. Today we're actually doing real estate. It's rare that Ksenia and I have a show that it's just us, so we're focusing on statistics. We're focusing on questions. Sen, you just you excited me, if people can't tell, that the median sales price year over year has gone up 9 point something percent. So there goes the stat to all you guys who are telling people that the prices are going down and then you should wait to buy. Wrong. And you should not wait for the interest rate. You should marry the house and date the rate. And then also talking about the number of home sales up 33% in Pinellas County year over year. But wait, Frank, nobody's going to move to Pinellas County anymore because of the hurricanes. I hear that all the time. That's my worried buyer voice. There's been too many hurricanes. We're not going to go back to Pinellas County. We're going to go to Arizona. No, you're not. 33% more people are going to Pinellas County. And
you know what? I've heard that too.
Right?
But actually the last closing I just had, she's relocating, granted from Florida, just from the other coast.
Right.
Another couple, they're coming down from Des Moines, Iowa.
Okay.
And no, they all know about the hurricanes.
Right.
I just think that people are still moving down here, but some of them just might be, hey, I don't quite want to be so close to the water. Let's check out what's a little bit more, inland or, go up north a bit.
Right.
They're asking the questions.
Right.
And I do think it's an important question to ask when you're looking at a home. Hey, how, were you affected by the hurricane?
Yep.
How was the neighborhood? But I don't think it'll be a deterrent.
No.
For some people, sure, just like, with any kind of thing that happens. But I don't think we're going to see a huge decrease of people moving down here. No. It's the Sunshine State. Tampa's doing such great things.
I actually think, listen, this is going to sound weird. I kind of think it's a good thing. You know why I think it's a good thing? Because for 100 years, we've been talking about we hadn't been hit for 100 years. And people, nobody our age, nobody even our parents' age, have experienced anything like this. So nobody could look somebody in the eye and say, yeah, this neighborhood is not going to flood. This is blah, blah, blah. Because all they have ever said is, oh, it's never flooded in 100 years, right? Well, guess what? We now know what floods. We now know what neighborhoods will be impacted. We took a freaking direct hit from these storm surges. I guess it could have been a little worse. It can always be worse, right? But we now know. So people like you and I in the industry, now at our age, we can say, no, all right, this is where you don't want to be. Yes, these guys had 4 feet of water in this house. These guys had nothing. These guys had 6 inches. So statistically, I think we're in a better place now. We can answer the question more honestly, at least is what I'm thinking.
And I think hopefully everybody will start getting more prepared. Like we're all pushing flood insurance now.
Oh, please.
Even if it's not required. I mean, I know at least all the insurance agents I've ever talked to, that's been a thing for them.
Flood insurance is like, ridiculously
hey, even
cheap.
if it's not required,
right?
You just look into it. And I don't know if that's still going to be the case. We have to get another insurance guy on here, but
yes,
still.
we should. It's cheap if you are not required to have it, right? It is so cheap. It is almost stupid not to have it.
That's always been the spiel, yes.
Right. So if you're required to have it, yes, the rates are all, regulated and all that stuff. But I'll tell you what, a lot of people who had their flood insurance got taken care of in this last storm, and a lot of people who had their free and clear houses and didn't have insurance, they learned a quick lesson. A guy asked me this morning at the Owls, he's like, I was thinking about canceling my insurance. Like, worst idea you could ever do. Here's an idea. Lower the policy. If you don't have a mortgage, you don't have to carry $500,000 if your house is $500. You can carry $200 or $300. It's better than nothing, dude. Right? Yeah. Have some insurance. So, Sen, let's do some real estate tips. I want to ask you this question because this is always a big one on buyers' minds. Have you ever had a deal fall through for any unexpected reasons or in an unexpected way? And what happened?
Unexpected.
Trying
to think like what pops out.
Hurricanes.
I mean, sure. There's always things,
right.
And even the ones that we had with the hurricane may have been delayed a bit, but things got fixed. You had to have really good roofers on call that actually want to answer your call.
Right.
Those are important during times like that. But I think one that sticks out actually that was a little bit recent. It fell through for no reason at all, except for the buyers just changed their minds.
Just change your mind.
Yeah, it wasn't for not financing, not inspections, nothing else. They had a deposit on the line, and even their agent. So I had the listing. The buyer's agent was just like, "Listen, I don't know." And
did they lose the deposit?
They lost the deposit, and they were okay. And you know what? In that case, I do think this is such a big investment. Mm-hmm. If you're going to be living in this home, you better like it. Right. I want you to like it.
Right.
You know what? I think I respect people when they're, that set in that decision. I mean, it sucks because a lot of the other people, deals writing on deals, and all of a sudden one has cold feet and probably 2 other deals had to fall apart because of it.
Yeah.
Because there were contingent sales going on. But you know what?
It happens.
Can't say the S word. Yes, yeah. It happens.
I read your mind. It happens.
It happens.
So a solution. I'm gonna mention something. Anything else we need?
Well, I have another one that I just think that I still really point out. This was really early in my career, and I wasn't even the agent. I was kind of partnered up with another agent on it. But we had a deal that was going through almost to the end. And it was this sweet little, well, maybe not so sweet, but this little lady that, she was just all her own in this big, beautiful house. And she had this room that had a lot of custom shelves in it.
Right.
It was an office, but apparently they, just spent all this money configuring it, whatever. And usually in real estate, it reads that, hey, if it's affixed to the wall, meaning that if it's something that's on your wall, that if you remove it, it's going to damage the property, that conveys. So she didn't quite, I guess, grasp that. And then come towards the very end, she was like, well, I'm taking these with me. And we're like, lady, this is, we're talking about the entire room with shelves everywhere. That's going to be quite a lot of work. But she insisted, well, if they stay, then I want an additional, say $3,000 or $5,000 on the side. And the people buying the home, they did not want these shelves. They were going to take them down. even take care of the repairs, and stuff. But she wasn't having it. And I think the buyers just got really fed up with it. And they're like, you know what? This is just.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's over nothing. But again, discuss all these things up front.
Right.
If there's a certain, light fixture that you really love, the buyer might really love it too. Make sure you talk about it up front. Like, hey, there's sentimental value there. I plan on taking that with me. I'll replace it with, something else, or we're just going to cap it. But just discuss it up front. That way you don't have these last minute surprises where there's some kind of miscommunication going into a contract.
I love what you said. That is the moral of that story is communication, communication, communication. I can just see your buyers. They're like, okay, lady, you can have the shelves and the house that it's connected to. If I was in that, I see something came up yesterday when we were talking about title companies and fees and things like that. And this person brought up scenarios where the people in the transaction, the real estate agents, the mortgage company, whatever, they get frustrated when people are trying to negotiate for, a few $1,000s. And sometimes they let deals fall apart, like a $500,000 deal fall apart for $5,000. And I find that so absurd. I know you would never do it. Ray and Mahara and Associates would never do it. Nobody wants to lose money. Nobody wants to come out of their pocket, especially at the end of a transaction. That's why we work in teams, that we can help each other out. But I just find that that's something you could ask your, agent, or you got to feel comfortable with your agent to know, if it comes down to a few $1,000s, are we all going to pitch in and work this out? And I know you guys will, and we will too. So that's kind of our advice. My advice to you is when you're choosing your real estate agent, you choose somebody who's going to represent you, but choose somebody who's going to be there for you as well, like Mahara and Associates and Ksenia, because I know they're not going to lose a deal when it comes down to a $3,000 negotiation. I mean, that deal right there with those cabinets, it almost like it should have never gotten to the buyer. Should have been like, listen, we're going to get it taken care of. We're going to company. We'll get them taken out. Don't worry, ma'am. It's all fine. They're yours. We'll patch up the walls. Those are kind of things that stress people out, and then it creates this animosity, and then people say, go fly a kite.
Yeah.
And not all those like to fly kites.
No, I totally agree. I think ultimately she was just so attached to the home, and I think it was just a very big change for her. Like her husband passed away not long ago, and she was just
he probably
in
built
a
those.
situation where could be. But I think she just was just very emotional for her, and with everything, I just don't think she wanted to let it go.
Yeah. I bet you on the next offer she let it go. That's the way it always works. I'm sorry, I don't want to be facetious, but we always do. You guys joke about this sometimes? Like it's almost like sometimes they get the buyers, they have to lose one to get one.
Oh yeah.
And that happened to my wife and I many years ago, looking at a house in Carrollwood, and we thought this was it, and we lost it. And it was really funny. The sellers loved us, and the sellers called us and said, "Listen, we didn't take your offer. We took the other one because we liked you guys too much." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "My neighbors are bat crazy. They're bat crazy." Right?
Oh.
And they helped us out in the end. Okay. And then Nicole and I found a way nicer house, a way more beautiful house, which was awesome. So in the end, everything happens for a reason.
And I am a big believer in that. So, things do happen for a reason, and they tend to work out better than maybe they would have, with the other thing that didn't work out.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say we got a minute left. How about you give a tip? 755-REAL, by the way, it's how you get in touch with her, 755-REAL. How about a tip for a buyer or a seller right now?
I mean, I think the biggest tip for both categories is make sure you hire a great agent. Hire an agent that you like, that you get along with,
right,
but that you also feel confident that's going to have your best interests at heart.
Right.
It doesn't matter if some people like aggressive style. Like I'm not an aggressive one, but that does not mean that I can get a deal done. Like I am a great negotiator, but I do things my way. I like to, work as a team, with all parties involved. And I do think that's a good way of getting things done. But it's important now. Especially if you're a seller, you need the right pricing strategy.
Right.
If you're a buyer, you do need a great negotiator because buyers are negotiating, and you have to have that agent that can convey what you want to get you the best price.
I love it. I second that advice. And my grandma used to always say, you catch more bees with honey. Mm-hmm. Right. And that is so true. That's why I don't let the people at Lincoln Lending Group be mean. We stay cool, just like Ksenia and Mahara and Associates. We're going to be back in just a minute, and we're going to talk some mortgages. So stay tuned if you want to find out what's up with the interest rates. Woo! All right, everybody.
Fast.
Thanks for
What is that, our
watching.
third segment?
We're blowing right through. We're in our fourth segment.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's it. So we got one more segment coming up for you guys on Instagram. We're going to be on for about another 8 minutes, so stay tuned. If you Jesuit boys don't get in trouble over there, hopefully Mr. Greenfield isn't watching you guys right now, but make sure if you're sending this out to your parents, like and share, because guess what? Your parents need to help pay for that school, so they need to do a mortgage with Frank the Bank. That's right. We're going to talk some reverse mortgages here when we get back. We're going to talk about the interest rates and where are they and why does Google lie to you? That is my favorite thing to tell you is Google is lying, and I'm going to go on the Google machine right now and see what they're lying about. Let's see. Whenever you're ready, sir.
Let's get back to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Kodo, owner of Lincoln Lending Group, and his co-host, Ksenia Akishina, realtor with Mahara and Associates.
Guys, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. I am in studio with Ksenia Akishina from Mahara and Associates, my amazing co-host. If you guys need some real estate advice, we've been giving it all day, but we're just going to give you her phone number, which is
813-755-REAL. I was looking at your little wave.
I know. I was over here waving to people. I'm just trying to wave to our listeners. Hi, guys.
I thought it was to me. I'm like, you're right here. Just wave.
Oh, wait, yeah, right here. So 813-755-REAL. Of course, if you need mortgage advice, it's contactfrankthebank.com. That's contactfrankthebank.com. For the reverse mortgage stuff, reverseguru.com. And, of course, you can find all of this on our social media. Please follow us, Realtor Sen and Frank the Bank, Kodo, on social media. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. We also are live every week on Instagram, normally from 11 to 12. First Tuesday of the month, going to be a little later. But we will always post these out so you can watch us. So, how about rates? Ksenia, don't cheat.
Let's do rates first, yes, because I'm always curious on your take on that.
What do you think the rates are right now? What are the buyers telling you?
I don't hear the stuff you hear. I hear the stuff everybody else hears.
That's what I want to hear.
That I guess, there's really no change in what it's been, but I know even what they say is not always true, because you say that what we see on Google is not really what it is. So tell me.
So I just Googled it, and you know how Google has this little AI thing now, like you ask a question, and then it gives you these other questions. You click on them, and it literally says AI overview. Which be careful, guys, because it's not always correct on some things. Okay, we got in trouble on something recently that was not right. Ooh. Don't use mortgage guidelines with Google, by the way. It says, as of February 3rd, 2025, the national average on a 30-year fixed mortgage interest rate was 7.02%. This is based on a survey of the largest mortgage lenders in the country.
Really?
That seems a little high, doesn't it?
See, it does, because that's not what I hear from you.
So, no, exactly. So you know what it really is, guys? The FHA and VA rate right now is 5.625 to 5.75%. FHA and VA. You are in the fives. So for all you guys saying, well, I'm going to wait to buy until rates are in the fives, they're in the fives. It's time to buy now. It really is. And you still have, what Ksenia just spent the whole show explaining, is you still have sellers willing to work with you, because we still have a little bit of that seller's market. The information isn't out there yet. People are like, why? I honestly think it's greed. It's, I say it like this, and somebody give me a better idea. Somebody come on the show and tell me I'm wrong. You're selling a widget for $2. The economy says that widget is now on sale for $3, okay? Because whatever price is whatever. All of a sudden, your cost goes back down, and you could sell that widget for $2 again to make the same amount of money. But everybody in America is willing to pay $3. Are you going to drop the price to $2 right off the bat? I say no. I say, most business people are not going to do it. Now, we at Lincoln are a wholesale mortgage brokerage business. So there's no benefit to us, right? We're already almost a 1.5 lower than the biggest banks in the country, right? It doesn't change anything. We can give you the 5.625. We're going to make the same amount of money, right? So a conventional rate, Fannie Mae, you're like 6.25, right? So you're almost a point lower there. You're almost a 1.5 lower on FHA and VA. I really don't know what else to say besides we have
So
to tell
those
them.
numbers, like, I mean, are they just getting it from like a lot of like the retail banks, or like,
Yeah.
how is it so much higher there than what you're giving?
So it actually shows it on here. It shows, if you Google it, it shows you all the places they pulled them from. Guaranteed Rate, U.S. Bank, Zillow, Mortgage News Daily, Bankrate.com, NerdWallet, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. So that's where they're pulling them from. So they're pulling this data from the big boys. Now, big boys have more expense, right? It's why, you shop with the local business owner. They usually can cut you a better deal because it's simple. They have less margin, right? Yeah, we have 45 employees, which is pretty big for a small business, but that's still way different than 4,500 employees or 45,000 employees where you have to collect more money to pay all these benefits and insurances. And think about if you have 1,800 branches across the country. Well, you got to make the money to keep the lights on, right?
Well, you've educated me on that before. So actually, you agents that are listening, go to Frank's Lunch and Learn tomorrow because he does cover this. And there are just things that we as agents, don't really think about, don't know that part of, the business and how it all works. So It's a great thing to check out. Frank's going to teach you a lot of stuff that we don't usually cover on the show.
Thank you. And it is on the Instagram and the Facebook. So you've asked me to do this before and we never have time. So some math. Right? You're always like, well, what does that really mean to a consumer? I did it in a seminar the other day, and I'm going to do it again tomorrow. Okay. Let's say you have a 500, well, let's say you're approved for $400,000, and the bank gives you the 7% rate, but it's not enough. Ksenia is not able to find you the house for $400,000. You really need a more expensive house. The difference in the rate and what you qualify for by going from 7% to 5.75, a 1.25 difference, is about $80,000. So if you don't think the rate matters, if you think it's just your payment, it makes a difference on what you qualify for. So that's what the real estate agents need to hear is, yeah, you got this guy at Guaranteed Rate who's your best buddy and you guys golf with him and stuff, but he keeps giving your client 7%. Who's he helping? He's hurting the maximum qualification for the client. Now, what does it mean in dollars? The dollar difference in that interest rate change right there on $500,000 is almost $700 a month, right? No less than 5, no more than 7. So what is that? If $500 a month doesn't interest you, then I guess you're buying cash, right? Because $500 a month is a lot of money to Frank the Bank. So I hope it's a lot of money to you guys out there. So that's
I love the math. I'm going to have to re-listen so I can actually jot it down.
Yes.
Keep my notes handy.
I'm going to send you some screenshots that I'll actually show you. But this is what I want everybody to understand is the interest rates do have a very major impact, not only on your monthly payment, but on how much money you qualify for. So if you're a real estate agent and you have a client that just can't get what he needs because he's talked to somebody else, let's do it. By the way, I'm going to leave you guys with this. Down payment assistance, everybody talks about it. Way better programs at Lincoln Lending. 100% FHA. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer. And you don't have an income restriction. You don't need the down payment assistance. We can get you 100% financing. We just did it for the Leah King group and saved somebody's butt and saved them $7,000 on the same deal at a lower interest rate. So,
are we out of time for reverse mortgage stuff?
I know. I ran out of time for reverse mortgages.
Next episode. Okay.
I know. She's got a great reverse mortgage question for me, but next week we will talk reverse mortgages. Just go to reverseguru.com. Check it out, answer all the questions about reverse mortgages, and I promise you will not lose your home. It's nearly impossible to do that. Sen, what's new? That's it. That's what we got.
That's it. Happy Super Bowl and happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
That's right. I guess go Birds. Go Birds.
Yes, let's do it.
Oh, God, that hurt. We'll see you guys next week on the Business Happy Hour. Thank you for listening, and make sure you like and share. Have a great week. All right, James, thank you very much. 2 seconds early.
Man, we blew through that.
We sure did. Instagram, thank you for watching. Make sure you guys like and share. We love for you guys to get some more listeners out there for us. And, of course, reach out to Ksenia at 813-755-REAL, or you can really text me on my cell phone, and I promise I'll get back to you. Have a great week, everybody. All right. Share. Real estate statistics show that the average home price went up nearly 10% from December 2023 to December 2024, and the number of sales went up over 30%